Hello, everybody, and welcome to Heathen Cantina's presentation of Legends of the Old Kingdoms, Episode 9, and we promise to be better than some other Episode 9s out there. I'm Asmo Danikar, your host, looking forward to a truly chaotic and endlessly deep session of the world's most phenomenal game. I am joined by an amazing cast, and I just gotta thank them for showing up, and you other DMs out there know what I'm talking about. So without further ado, we're gonna kick this off. We got our old first season. You might notice that we are definitely down a frequent MVP flyer, a frequent flyer, if you will. Tonight, my goal as GM, before I turn it over to the awesome cast and crew, I just want to share with you that my goal tonight is to make them truly miss their wizard. And without further ado, let's talk to Nick.
You're muted.
Hey, I'm Nick, or Unichronic, or Uniorchronic. I'm playing our resident Dhampir Drake Warden, Merkala Bloodfang. We just fought a Viper from the pit being the Abyss. Terrible lava monster. It really sucked. And we are basically watching a portal to the Abyss close up. I'm sorry, was there a banter topic?
Oh,
Sorry.
right now we're just going around doing intros first.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you one.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm excited to see where and what's happening. Merkala got a juicy tidbit that part of her history might lie in the Abyss, her family history or lineage, which is news to her. She learned that little tidbit from, drinking a abyssal viper's blood. And with that, I will pass it on to, Empty Pockets.
Why'd it have to be snakes? So yeah, I'm playing Empty Pockets. He's our assassin, shadow elf weirdo addicted to a drug that connects him to his ancestors, one of which is living inside his skull, and causes trouble from time to time. Sometimes helpful, sometimes not so much. Yeah, it's a blast. Gosh, I mean, yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. So bring it, Sandy Pants.
Okay, I found my unmute button. Hello, everybody. I am Sandy Pants. I'll be portraying Eldane, our curmudgeonly warlock hexblade goblin, who has made a very dark pact with a very powerful patron, who, as we were facing death against the fiery viper from the Abyss, spoke into Eldane's ear to offer a ticket out through that closing abyss. Thankfully, we did not need to take them up on it, but that is an increasingly anxious-inducing thing Eldane is dealing with as we continue through the adventure. More and more bits and tells and comments from the peanut gallery, or the combat tracker, as it were, about who she is and what she's doing, which is disquieting, to say the least. But I'm sure that's nothing to worry about tonight. Certainly. Arthur, what you got?
Hey y'all, I'm Arthur. I'm playing Teller, our resident planar tiefling bard. Teller is potentially the only character of yesterday's episode, or last week's episode, who did not have some sort of multi-dimensional, multiversal bit of knowledge or experience going down to him, which is good because he was pulling people's asses out of the fire, quite literally. And yeah, he's very excited to be alive. He's already composing verses of the Tale of the Deathless Princess to add to the Bloodsong Knights repertoire and to spread the legend of Merkala even further. This is a good one. This in particular has got a lot of juicy details after that combat we had last session.
Yeah.
That was intense. So, Teller is staring into that closing portal to the abyss as it whips itself away. And he's very glad to be staying on this side of it.
Fantastic. A trapped corridor, a fight with something from beyond, and its little minions. This had a lot of trappings of some of the golden age of adventure gaming, computer and video gaming too. I couldn't help but think of some of the
Like
dungeons in
Adventure.
A poorly rendered dragon is upon you. No. I was also reminded of The Legend of Zelda, the original, and several corridors in Ultima where wrong square was very bad day, and it's not like the game stopped sending waves of demons at you while you were dealing with the traps. So, that being said, here's your banter topic. What is your favorite, I want to say, gaming console, and why? And I'll go first this time to warm it up and let you know the parameters. Mine, of all time, and I was lucky enough to have an Atari 2600 and a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, access to an N64 and GameCube, and later a Wii, or later a Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, Dreamcast. And I gotta say, the Dreamcast was my favorite of all time. Partly because of the controller itself, just fit the cradles of my hands perfectly, and partly because of the appeal of using the VMU, the little mini unit inside there that looked like a Tamagotchi or a pager, using that to pick plays in sports games. I didn't really like sports games on consoles, but I'd played them on PC. But NHL 2K and NFL 2K on the Dreamcast were amazing, and 2v2 football games were really awesome. But all that aside, there were some really good adventure games on there, including Legacy of Kain, which I thought was Soul Reaper, or Reaver, was just awesome. And I love the puzzles and traps in that, and I was thinking of that as well. So now, Andy, how about you?
I have one this time.
Yes.
And this is going to be a callback. Like I see this coming. So I did for a while through high school and a bit in college. I worked at the local equivalent of a GameStop in our local mall, back when malls were still a thing. This would have been, late 90s, early aughts. And so I had opportunity to play with all kinds of fun stuff at a great discount and take home things that, maybe weren't worth selling. But my favorite console of all time is entirely unrelated to most of the games I've ever played, and it is ColecoVision. And the reason is I've told some tales. I led an interesting childhood, some craziness and shenanigans, but in and amongst all that, we didn't always have a lot of money. And one of my uncles, who was off to college and doing well with himself, was kind enough to send some old hand-me-down video games to the Nibblings. And so would have been late 80s. I don't think ColecoVision was even still around, didn't have a long run, but we had, I want to say, like 2 Coke flats or so full of cartridges, and living in a not so fancy part of town. Most of our neighbor friends didn't have any sort of video games, and so being the one that could actually play through these adorable, difficult, crazy games, because this is before anyone had any kind of rules on what an interface should be or how controls should work. And this thing, the controller on this beast, if you don't know, you're familiar with the Atari joystick, right? It's a square and a joystick. Kalikovic, for some reason, decided you needed a telephone pad on this shit. I think you used it in about 2 games, but you had a controller at the top and a number pad. I don't know why. So the controls never made sense. It was always a guess. There were no manuals. There were no instructions. There was no logic to any of it. And damn if I didn't spend hour upon hour in that low res playland. It was awesome. And with that, I will kick it off to Arthur.
Hey. So I've played a bunch of systems, but I've only ever owned a few. And I'm actually going to go ahead and say 2 because the experience of getting both of them was actually very similar. And that's the original NES and the Nintendo Switch, which is what I have now. They are clearly not high-power systems. Nothing was when the NES came out, but everything dominates the Switch as far as specs are concerned. However, the experience of using it and the ergonomics, as you were saying, the controller fits so beautifully in the hand, and it's flexibility and integrating into your life and into different styles of play. The fact that you can play 2 players on the base level Switch. You can take the 2 side Joy-Cons and each person can play one. You can play Mario Kart on an airplane with whoever the hell's sitting next to you. It's really nice. And that sort of like usability, how much time and energy they put into getting all of those things right is really important to me, like in how things work in my life. Plus, they have enough cool games on Switch that I'm very happy. In a similar kind of way. And it's a lot of callbacks to the old school, like with the Breath of the Wild and the original Zelda. So many good things come out of it. So I guess I'm saying Switch, really, because that's what I've got. But it is so clearly related to the original NES that I'm super down. The only problem is Prince of Persia: Sands of Time is not available as a fucking port, and that is my absolute favorite game of all time. And they keep talking about it. They keep talking about it, and they keep not fucking doing it. Like, yeah. So I may have to try to hunt up a PS2. Like, I don't know how. It's been years that I've been waiting and wondering, and yeah. I don't even think there's emulators that can run them. Like, even if I wanted to find a ripped cartridge or ROM or whatever it would be and like try to spin it up on my machine, I don't think it's available.
Was it PS2?
Almost positive.
Yeah, the graphics are too good for PS1.
For what it's worth, I know a
no.
vintage game guy who can absolutely help get you hooked up with
No,
this.
I know. I need
So
to
do
go
I.
to his house and play.
I have a guy.
I need to go over to his house and play.
I was going to say, I have a PS1. You could just
Long story
over.
long.
6-hour drive.
We'll go Nintendo, but on a game that Nintendo doesn't make. Anyway. What you got, Nick?
So I have to say, like, Sega Genesis, probably. That was the one I had as a kid, and then I don't know, somehow we became a Sega household because I didn't get Dreamcast. We did switch to PlayStation, but I had the Sega Saturn as well. But Sega Genesis specifically.
That's another deep cut.
Yeah. Sega Genesis specifically, and like my favorite games like Phantasy Star 1 through 4, which are like the classic RPGs on Sega. Also, like, something about the music of Sega, I think, hits a little bit different than SNES. I don't have anything to back that up, but there's like a tone there that makes it sound a little bit different. So like, there's definitely a nostalgia to, like, with chiptune and stuff, especially.
I
Sega.
hear Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Right. Well, right.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
But
Yeah. There were more colors, more. Yeah.
yeah. Sega Saturn was also really awesome. Nights into Dreams was like a groundbreaking great game, and I don't think enough people talk about it.
That was crazy shit.
That weird flying dream jester. It was insane. It was like 3D flying. It was, for a game of its time, it was like pretty forward thinking. And then
That was wild.
And then there was also an RPG called Dragon Force, which is one of my favorite strategy RPGs to date ever. And we never got any of the sequels over here, and it was a really great J strategy RPG. But like it was like armies, not unit, like not individual characters. It was cool. Anyway, hey Kelton, what
Hi.
system? Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm a Sega man. I was cranky and against the grain, like from like birth. And everybody and their retarded cousin, their annoying cousin, had SNES. It was like all the rage with like where I was in childhood, and I was like, what's this Sega stuff about? But I actually really loved it. Like same thing with the Sega Genesis is where I started. That's the most nostalgic thing. Is the controller was like round instead of like weird. Like how is this supposed to fit in my hands? More buttons was a good thing. The graphics were better, sound was a little bit better, and all my favorite games were on that. I still have it. It still works. I still have all the games, and I keep buying more. I collect these vintage things. I have an SNES too, and I don't bust it out like almost ever, but I still go back to that Sega Genesis all the time. I still have my Dreamcast, and I have to say, my probably like favorite like video game franchise is probably Legacy of Kain. This, like the Soul Reaver ones. Still my favorite. I have a whole Planescape campaign that's ripping off Soul Reaver 2.
Good.
Love to hear it.
But the it's the one where there's a one of the vampires that you're supposed to go kill has the community before the world went to complete hell constructed like a giant complex that is essentially one huge pipe organ, but the vampire that inhabits it like grew into the pipes, so none of them work, and you have to like get him out, and you're like wandering through the pipes and solving puzzles to get this horrible creature out of there. My goodness. It's just like, yeah, that's my favorite franchise ever.
Wow,
But
yeah.
for nostalgia's sake, Sega Genesis.
Okay. So we had
Battletoads, X-Men 1 and 2.
Did you call up
Yeah, the
stores and ask them
X-Men's.
if they had Battletoads?
Yeah, I'm collecting.
Oh, shout out
those
Battletoads.
games. I got them.
I was also later. We were a Sega house in a neighborhood of Nintendo houses, and Battletoads. That I have not thought about that game in a long while.
What about
It's so hard.
Bionic Commando?
My
Is another
Shout out Battletoads. That was the first thing that came to my mind when you started talking about game consoles. I was like, motherfucking Battletoads.
Yeah, no, I'm still like, I used to be so good at it, and I try to do it now, and I'm just like,
It's so ridiculous.
I also
hard.
feel like Toe
Yeah.
Jam and Earl is like a really
Mhm.
Shout out
like
Toe
it's,
Jam and Earl.
Earthworm Jim,
100%.
anybody Earthworm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Jim.
yeah,
All
yeah.
three of us are so good.
Mm-hmm.
Point of order though, Battletoads was NES.
I have 2 different Battletoads games on Sega
Oh.
Genesis, and they literally have the cartridges.
Yeah, no doubt.
A lot of them were cross-platform.
Yep.
Yeah, there were a lot of games that were.
They looked better on Sega, though.
Oh, I'm sure
Of
they
course
did.
they did.
Yeah.
They everybody knew. Everybody
This is a
knew, but
Space
I-
Harrier household. We weren't here otherwise.
Yeah.
Hot dang.
Sega Genesis had inferior controllers though. They were so fucking giant and
I
not
liked them.
ergonomic at
They're
all.
tiny.
I was not down.
I hate the NES.
I was
though.
not down.
I hate
thought
the
NES
SNES
was
one.
just right.
The
I
SNES
thought
one was
SNES was thumbs down almost
Didn't like it.
universally. SNES as a console, I was
That's
not
so
down
funny.
with most of the games and stuff.
Oh, we played
Mhm.
so much Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2,
Oh,
EX
man.
plus Alpha. That was the round robin. We had to sanitize the controllers periodically because so many hands handled them. especially when it was other people playing me. But I'll challenge anybody to that game. I remember when, and Judd, if you're watching, I remember when I got good enough to finally beat Judd, and he was very upset. And it was satisfying. It was more fun than crushing anyone else, because he was the one who didn't give up the controller when we would play, King of the Hill Topolums, where you got to give it up if you lose, but if you don't lose, you just keep rocking.
Man,
but
I used to literally make
finally
money.
figured out how to do 360 pile drivers with Zangief, and how to make Air Tokyo 100-handed slap work with E Honda. And Air Tokyo was not what it was called, but that's what I called it. But it was where he would do the big splash and just fly at you.
You gotta have you gotta have your own names for shit. You just got to.
Yep. And then poorly mimic them when it's not your turn. That's so sad. Okay. I mean, Yoga Fire and Yoga Flame, that was easy mode. But no, thanks for the trip down memory lane on the consoles. It's good times. And I was reminded of some video game stuff when I was making this level. I was like, this really reminds me of, you go into a basement, you're like, oh, it's just an ordinary basement. Wait, what's this? And find a secret door to a very obviously and heavily trapped corridor. After making your way up that corridor, which was a bevy of two kinds of traps. There were columns that popped out and deployed blades that spun and slashed all around them. There were turrets, effectively, of some sort of flammable gas-powered discharge. They were not magical traps, they were entirely mechanical. And they were very effective at softening you up and, I don't mind saying, foreshadowing what awaited you beyond.
Also, I didn't realize until just now how Rockter that is. That it's these purely mechanical traps. Very Rockter. They've got all the locks. This is like what they do here.
Yeah.
In industry. So, yeah.
Yeah, the entire city appears to be a clock.
It was a very Souls-like session to me, which, harkens back to classic video games. But
so if anyone wants to go ahead and write on your inventory trauma, you get that.
We have it.
Yeah.
My inventory's full up on trauma.
Yeah. We've been stocking up.
We can leave that right there.
Since season 1, we've been stocking up.
Yeah,
it's over there next to the broken rapier. We're not even picking that up.
I'll add a box of this to check.
I'm going to move you out of the danger zone there, Merkala, and put you in the column so you're not in the trapped corridor. So everybody has banished 3 demons. And how are y'all feeling about that? How are your characters feeling about that? That was that was the nastiest fight this party has experienced. You've had some close calls. You've had multiple people down before, but I don't think you ever had 3 drop all at once.
Yeah, we had 3 go down and all
brutal.
Still down, all in one round and still down at the same time. That was rough.
Real rough.
So what's
a little shaky.
What do we do in those moments?
We came through. The fates and the dice were with us enough, and we're still here. Minus Flix. He was fine.
Yeah.
He was there. He was there in the battle. I was right there.
Limping together, just still sizzling from the flames. It's like, where's Flix?
And there is a heavy smell in the air.
Empty.
Especially since Empty is still here. Like, we're used to him disappearing. Like,
well, he's literally leaning up against a wall, sitting on his ass, feet splayed out. He's no longer himself, even.
Yeah. And Eldine's sitting across the hall, also just a little bit dazed and confused.
Yeah. The creepy fairy is
moderately eviscerated,
I think.
Merkala, you've pulled Dusk back from the Dragon Pocket dimension.
Yeah, I resummoned him. My Draconic Essence materialized, I guess would be the best way to put it. Which, gave some icy, some icy advantage at the end once we figured out that was the way. The chromatic orbs are really what did it, but
Those were nice.
yeah, the chromatic, but I could throw in there with Dusk. She's like looking down at her like fancy like 5-head dragon-headed winged helm that got all melted up when she bit the snake, bit the pit viper, viper of the pit, and B, when she got caught in all the fire, and she just kind of tosses it on the ground. I guess her face would be pretty burned up as well, probably like, doing that whole like vampire healing thing before your guys' eyes.
So the
She would wait.
cuts are sealing up, blood is flowing back in.
And she would wait until we feel, hear, smell, experience the like that pop that's going to happen when this portal to the abyss finally just closes before stepping into the deeper into the vault.
Okay. The steam, you realize now, and Teller, you see the pool, and the pool is settling back down, but it seems like the portal's under the pool or in the water. Jumping into the water is a way to go to where the portal leads, but the water is settling down, and it seems that all of the steam that was in here is dissipating because it came from that 11-foot long fiery serpent exiting wherever it came from, spoiler, the abyss, and hitting that water as a landing pad, as a splash page, if you will, and it just vaporized so much of the water into steam instantly as it burned its way up. And then it flew around the corridors. It came out of the portal and then to Bulazau, which are these, they appear to be humanoid goat people with long tails. They were covered in pustules. They had the buzzing of flies about them. They stank of putrefaction. They carried corruption in the air around them. They were also loathsome. They were suitable minions, suitable henchmen for such a majestic demon as the serpent that you faced. Now, to remind everybody, it was Alnar, the Grand Viper of the Pit.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go ahead and drop that art, and big time shout out to Cobalt Press for their monster books. I find them to be absolutely brilliant. I love their interpretation of mythological and folkloric creatures, and the fact that challenge rating, everybody kind of knows it's more of what you call guidelines, but their take on it is, it's gonna be rough. Good luck. We're all counting on you. And that seems to be a design philosophy of theirs that I like. So, Tome of Beasts, check it out. It's really freaking good. All right.
Nice.
That
Teller starts to giggle to himself at the fact that they are all actually alive as he's passing around small cups of strong spiced coffee that they make on Tauros for warriors after a tough battle. Glad you're not dead, family, he says. Gives Dusk some scritches. Looking cool, sir.
He breathes out, icy mist.
Warning, I'm dragging your tokens around to a place that's a little more flicker flashing.
Yeah, that's spooky. With all the disco fog going on. So it seems the queen has some very dark and deep problems in her kingdom.
Is she
I'm
even
not
aware?
sure. Yeah, is she? I wonder. Is she aware of them? I wonder if she is aware of them. I
Hmm.
realize I might not be one to speak on such things, but
Flix would.
yeah, where is the little scribe?
And as you look around for your winged sprite companion, they appear to have flown the coop. This pool is settling back into place, and you see that there are at least one, probably two braziers that burn with a sickly mauve incandescence. And between the water reflecting their light, it's otherworldly and definitely otherplanar. Beyond the smell of the serpent, the steam that still hangs in the air, although fading, the faint lingering of the putrefaction from the Bulazau, who mercifully disappeared and did not leave. Did not leave bodies behind. There's another smell. Something almost like an incense. You don't smell it at first because you all have these little tiny ceramic cups of strong smelling coffee under your nose right now. But soon enough, you catch a whiff of it. Whatever it is was burning in these braziers. Do you wish to hazard a closer look, adventurers? I know you were without your wizard. Couldn't help but notice that.
Well, that's still
Really?
new. So
There doesn't seem to be a path over the pool.
Well, you could always swing around,
Just a
grab
little-
the wall on the other side,
Yeah.
hoist a leg.
That's not a athletics check of any kind.
No,
Sure.
low
I'm
DC. You're not running. You're not in
Mhm.
duress. It'll be all right.
I'm going to go ahead and just pass out a couple of healing spells real quick for my
I
still
have a-
barely vertical friends.
I have a question about that.
What's that?
So I've been a cleric for like a year, but I've cast like 3 spells. But I think I cast a few last time, and my question is: does Fantasy Grounds track your spell slots?
If you tell it to.
So you have to do that.
Yeah.
So I have
You have
no
to set it up.
clue what I have or don't have in terms of spell slots,
I
and that's on
kind
me.
of remember.
because
I'm going to open up your character sheet.
I know I did 1 heal
And
at
one.
least.
I think there was a bless.
A
I did a
bless?
bless.
Yeah, you got
I
one
did a
spell slot
bless.
left.
I do. Okay.
Yep, that's what I
Alright.
thought. But I just
Well-
wanted to catch up, made you honest.
Cool.
Teller's handing out
That's all I was trying to do.
the good heals. Yeah.
Eldine's also going to take a moment to spend 10 minutes inspiring my companions, which will give everybody temporary hit points equal to your charisma modifier.
Ooh.
Yes, please.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Uncharacteristically, but I'm gonna make an excuse for it because for like 3 more seconds, Empty is gonna be Nilo. Nilo is gonna heal himself. Empty wouldn't do that. He'd be at 1 hit point and he'd heal somebody else.
But Nilo really wants this vessel to stick around.
Sure do.
I also have a stack full of healing potions here.
Yeah, start chugging.
This seems like a
It-
great time for that.
Yeah, so I'll give each of y'all just a regular healing potion, which is 2d4 plus 2. I don't have that scripted. If y'all want to go ahead and drop dice, 2d4 plus 2.
Or you just drop healing on yourself.
You just drop the 2d4 plus 2, and we'll ask our gracious DM to add them as hit points.
Oh.
And with a note to myself to look up how to script that.
All right, so Mercala gets
Yeah.
6 back.
Oh.
There we go. Yeah, y'all
Oh,
were
shit.
pretty beat up. There was a lot of single-digit hit
I
points
forget,
states after that drop too.
I never do this stuff. How do you do that instead of just rolling 1d4, 2d4? It's
You
really
left
simple,
click
but-
and hold, and then you right click.
There we go.
to
Never mind. I
add
got it.
dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Grip it by the husks.
You grip it by the husk.
I like that description.
So yeah, Eldine
Okay.
steps up. Y'all, we just faced off against what the abyss had to throw at us. I hate to say it, but I got a little nervous there. My patron was offering an escape. We ain't need it. We got this, y'all. And with that, everybody gets +6 temporary hit points.
Better the demons you know than the devils you don't.
Better the demons we've killed than the devils we haven't.
That was an accidental heal. Sorry.
It was an accidental heal.
It actually looks like
It
you
does.
can.
Accidental
Oops,
discharge
thank
of my
you.
healing wand. Sorry about that.
How,
Sorry.
how do you
I swear
upcast
this
a
has never
spell?
happened to me before.
You click the higher spell slot, but when you're actually casting it, you just right click to add the extra dice.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
It looks like you can also, just as a little nerd note, it looks like you are potentially able to drag and drop your dice total to your wounds on the combat tracker.
Yeah, let me give that a try. There we go. Boom, done. Yay!
Hey, nice.
Yeah. People are
Ooh,
Ooh.
big money.
and that's to Teller. Nice.
Mhm.
Oh, thanks.
Teller's
I have
feeling-
one more second level slot, and I didn't use any second level spell.
I'm
slots.
good on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Can you?
Where's the?
Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
I guess I should look at the combat tracker. Eldine, how you doing?
Not great.
Not great. She's still got 40 wounds.
27 of 67.
Can you
Mm.
upcast? Oh, you can. Here, I still have a second level slot too.
Boom.
Boom.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's much nicer.
Oh yeah, no, she's looking significantly better there. Who else? Empty Pockets and Mirkala both looking rough still, but Empty Pockets is looking the most rough.
Yeah.
He's got
I
a
have,
lower.
I have a couple healing potions.
Here, I got you.
And as you think, should I keep reaching in and pulling out all the healing potions, you remember, oh yeah, we still have exploration to do, and eventually we'll
Yeah.
have to make our way back up that obviously and heavily trapped corridor.
Yep.
Which is why we need
Yeah.
this moment of
Recuperation.
reinvigoration.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever's
Yeah,
in
it's
that
not
chest
like-
and whatever we got to go back through. Like, yeah, let's not do that
Please.
as raggedy as we've been.
Because unlike the video games we've referenced, the corridor doesn't deactivate mysteriously just because the boss is defeated.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, and I don't think anybody wants to take a short rest right now.
No, I don't think we have the time.
No, we're on task right now.
There are 4
All right,
chests
how do you,
in the room with you.
Oh, wait a
On this
minute.
side,
Here we
by
go.
the way.
Yeah.
Full of questions today. How do
Yeah,
you
but
just
some of
grab
this
a
stuff is
potion
gonna
out of
belong to
inventory
what's
onto
his bucket,
yourself?
right?
There we go. Better.
Oh.
Okay. Much better.
Thank you.
Yep.
And those 6 temporary for the table.
Okay,
There are some consumable
maybe we call it.
potion extensions. I don't know if they're loaded right now. Can't remember. But you could always just roll it and then drag it over to yourself.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Oh, jeez.
It should work.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna use one of mine.
water-
and
So yeah,
get
okay.
out of
Now
inventory
that
somehow.
now that we're finishing that business, yeah, tell us about this space we're in.
So the pool has settled out, and it appears to be the portal is gone. It faded out at some point. You keep waiting for this like thrum, this aftershock, and it's really just fades. You see that something is sputtering out on one of the braziers, and you can hear the crackle of it.
Yeah, definitely go investigate that. What have they been burning down here for a light? Is it light or no? This is not a light brazier.
It is creating light, but it's a strange pale fuchsia mauve. It's not.
This
it's not
is
the
what's
kind of,
over by the chest.
Yes,
Yeah, Teller
the
will
very
definitely
large
go
chest.
investigate that.
All right, so you want to hop across the little water back?
Yeah, I'm gonna take that little jumper.
Alright.
Not my strong suit, so it'll probably end up on the ass. But
Oh, we'll find out.
it's these damn hooves.
My hooves.
Did they make boots for hooves?
You got 2 left hooves is your problem.
You
Left
can,
hooves.
you can,
I got 2 left hooves.
you
Who
can-
want test?
you can get them resized if you find magical boots that you want to. It would behoove you to have some resized.
Nice.
They're
That's
just
boots of not
horseshoes.
falling
You
on
gotta
your
nail
ass.
them in.
You want
So they'll
athletics
fucking-
or acrobatics?
Oh god. I'm so used to playing characters that it is always acrobatics. Where's my skills? There we go. Let's go acrobatics.
Because this is totally one of the times where I could see it being both. Because you could just jump and athletically clear the
Jump, or you
distance,
could
or
do a
sort
back
of
move.
hop around the
Yeah.
the corner there, using the wall to push off from, and you did so fine. Yeah.
I'll be leaving that chest for empty pockets to take
Yeah.
a look at. But
I think the healing has sobered him up, so all of a sudden he's like, "Everybody all right? What did we do?"
That'd be a cool
You get
side
the sense
effect.
that
of
when he
healing
says
potions.
"we," he's not talking about you guys. He's just talking about himself.
The royal
um,
we.
The royal way.
you lived, brother. You lived.
Seems like it. I'm gonna hop over there too.
I didn't have to ask. I was pretty sure it was acrobatics with you.
2 on the die for a 13.
I know,
As
it's ridiculous.
close
What's
as close as you can get to a crit fail without.
I
actually
can't.
hitting
I
it.
can't. I'm just gonna blow that last inspiration.
No, you did
No,
it.
you got it. You made it.
Oh, I
The DC's
Oh,
only
okay.
10.
I wasn't.
It's
I wasn't
not. It's
looking
not a
at that.
tough.
I was
That's
looking
not a
at
tough
the
thing to
tracker.
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
That's
that. Yeah, that's
okay.
why it's so impressive.
Wow.
Even with
That's
the
so
2, you
funny.
got it.
That's hilarious.
He's still a little wobbly from whatever just happened.
No, but naturally an
You have no
acrobatic
idea, brother.
acrobatic little effort.
So, Teller, as you look into this and get closer to the brazier, it's not giving off any real heat. As you lean in, there's some warmth coming from it, but it's like, yeah, it's like a toaster oven when somebody made a bagel 10 minutes ago. It's not radiating
Oh.
like a brazier, a lit brazier would.
He's going to go ahead and cast Detect Magic.
Oh, good. Yeah, there's a strong conjuration magic within both braziers, and the aura seems to go down from the braziers to meet in a channel that goes under the floor and back towards this pool.
Ah, I wonder if this is where the 2 plague satyrs popped out.
Doesn't smell like them here. Smells like some sort of funky burnt mushroom.
Summoning. Huh. What triggered that? Maybe it was us setting. I don't know. So either there was something triggered the actual summoning of the viper, right? Were the Bulazao already here? Were they just hanging out?
Mirkala, you see the hoof prints where they kicked up some of the dust. This isn't an immaculate vault.
Summoning, or it's a little dusty. Yes, it hasn't been cleaned in a while.
And there's another set of footprints here that look to, as you were looking, Teller came running up and jumped through them, but they're still there. There's somebody's boot prints, and it seems to be a heeled hobnail boot. You've seen that boot before, a pair of those boots. So the warlock
Wasn't
you
here. Was the
was
last person
in
in
here,
here?
yep.
Probably. Okay. And so his story of not having been down here in a long time checks out.
It does.
At least in this part, yeah. Okay.
At least given the forensic evidence, he's not at the crime scene. Dusk
I'm
is
actually gonna
sniffing
check
at the
out.
footprints too.
I could survival check reveal some more.
I'm gonna let you make it at advantage because Dusk is helping you out here.
Nice.
And I'm sending it to you. Don't forget to give yourself advantage.
Nice.
And what do you
Pocket
roll?
19s.
For real. That's amazing. Okay. Nothing was down here. Nothing had been disturbed for a long time. Then
Before she showed up.
Then she came here. And the chest wasn't dragged, so she must have had some magical means, or maybe maybe it was extra dimensional on her part. You don't know, but you don't see any drag marks or wheel marks. Nothing that would indicate if that's the chest. If the chest that that Empty is crouching before and examining, I mean that's more than 4 feet on the long side. That's a big chest. And if it's full of something, it would have made a lot of weight. You don't see any of that. But
Yeah.
you do see her footprints hop over there, and in the fading light and the cast about light, you see what looks like footprints through the dust walking up to each brazier.
Okay. Can I check out do these crates from where I'm at, just looking at them, do they look like they're covered in dust, or did they belong to maybe the Warlock? Like the crates down at the bottom.
So you go up closer to them, and under the dust that's there, you can see drag marks for these chests, but it's long since covered in the dust, and there's dust on them.
Okay.
They haven't moved
Okay.
in a while, and they look dead up like money chests.
Okay.
Like inside, they've probably got
Gold bars or something.
or shelves that have
Okay.
rows of coins.
Oh my.
You don't know, but that's what you would guess looking at their
Mhm.
construction.
Okay.
Eldine, as you look about,
Hmm.
you've got a feeling that there's something more to these braziers and pool combo. I'm gonna throw an Arcana your way. We're talking about a 16. That's what we need.
Let's see what we get.
Mm,
That's not 16.
no, it's
Actually, can I get one of those too?
Sure can.
I have that trained. Yeah.
LD's gonna burn inspiration.
okay. I'll send it both to you then. There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Nope. Tell us
Still
no.
I got some on me.
Asmo, I had a
Yeah, what's
pretty
up?
good check with that Pocket 19.
Yeah.
I don't see any signs of flicks, do I?
No.
Okay.
None.
I mean, he can fly and hover, so. But
There was an open portal, and he did go lay eyes on it. He was the first in here.
He was the first in here, yeah.
And we don't know
I'm
him
gonna
real
make an
good
argument
yet. We
for
like him so far, but
Empty
we don't know him
making that.
good.
No, we don't know him good at all. I'd like to make an argument for Empty making that check too, because basically what he's doing is checking for traps, but it seems like the rave happening behind him and the two piles of purple fire over here are connected, and they're on either side of the chest, so you know what I mean.
I do.
and can I just
Oh.
say, Sickly Mob
Terrible.
Incandensus is a great drag name.
Sickly Mauve Incandescence is a great drag name.
It's also like a really good post-punk band name.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was just dwelling on that for a moment. Empty, as you look, it's a triangulation style gate. This isn't a portal to the abyss. This is a gate to wherever you want. It's like a junior Well of the Worlds, except it's not always active, and it takes rare and expensive other planar materials burned in the braziers to open the gate to that plane.
New plan. This is now our headquarters in Rockdar.
No
There's
shit.
fucking crates of money. There's an interplanar portal in the basement. Already set
Right,
up
let's
behind
just take the
traps.
whole thing over.
We're already like trying to help out the guy who has the place. Like this is the spot. This is the
The-
spot. We're gonna have the Horned Knight come
That's
establish
right,
her
yeah.
presence here. This is our new headquarters in Rockdar.
Wait, but could Empty theoretically disable the trapped hallway indefinitely in a way that could be reliable? You know what I mean? Like,
Maybe so. We'll figure it out.
Maybe we don't want to.
We will figure it out.
But yeah, enough checks.
Yeah, there's space under the braziers, and it looks like there's small coffers under the braziers. like cigar
Mm.
box-sized coffers.
Mhm.
Tell her the one that you're looking at is just right there. You could totally pull the small box out from under the brazier.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Give me a.
Thank you for just assuming that I explained that to everyone, because I did.
Yeah. Give it a quick exam and see if I spot any traps or anything.
It's not locked or trapped.
Okay. Yeah,
Opening-
pull that out.
Opening this, it looks like there is dirt, like topsoil. And Empty spying that, you immediately realize you throw dirt from this plane. That's just dirt from outside, but it's from this plane. You throw that on the braziers, and it closes the portal, and it's not open anymore because you've basically now connected it to the prime material and put out the fires.
Mhm.
But you stoke the flames within these braziers. There's strong conjuration magic in them. It's the same aura on both. It's basically one aura with two light sources, if you will. But if you were to throw...
That is
Go ahead.
fucking cool.
Thanks.
Are there any remaining bits of non-consumed material in these braziers, or
Not
was it
in the
completely
box you're looking at, but...
in the braziers themselves?
Oh, in the braziers? No, it's all burned up.
Okay.
So opening
Stands to reason.
the portal is not enough to get the oomph, to get what it was that came through. You might just open the portal, and some Bulazal might have hopped out of their own accord. But
Mhm.
the Viper of the Pit was called by its abyssal government
It was
name.
summoned.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
brought forth with intent.
I wonder if that's what's in the chest. Is the materials necessary?
I don't know, but it looks like there's another 2 cigar boxes under the other brazier empty.
Yeah, let's check those out.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of them is empty. Ha ha ha. It
Yeah.
it appears to have just a slight smell of spoiled mushrooms in it. So you realize somebody had other planar, like abyssal fungus, and used that to open the portal.
But
But
looks
that's
like they used abyssal shrooms to open the portal.
you can relate.
Shrooms always open my portal.
Say,
Oh,
Like that's a
like,
puke
like,
joke.
like boomers of the pit, I say.
The other one,
it might.
as you pull it out, you feel something roll around in the second one.
Okay.
And
I'll be extremely careful.
looking inside, there's a flask, a clear glass
drink it.
flask
Oh, sorry.
with a rubber stopper on it, and it appears to be rolling to one side. And there's a fluid inside. It's water. Looks to be kind of water with a slight blue tint, maybe, but it appears to be like forcing the flask to roll into the corner as if gravity's not fixed to the substance inside. And looking at that, I'll let anybody make a religion check if they want to examine, or Arcana. Tell me what you want to.
We've got no damn clue what this is. You want to take a look at it? This fucking thing is.
They're the
I
same
don't
for me,
understand
so
it
I'll
at all.
take either one.
But
From
I think Arcana is better, but I'm double checking. They're the same for me. It doesn't matter. Oh. Oh.
19 there on the die, 22 total.
As the two of you look at this and hold the flask upright, the water settles out, and you see that it starts to form a little whirlpool within the bottle. And although it seems counterintuitive to pour water on a brazier, you're pretty sure that if you poured this water on both braziers, you'd have a portal to the elemental plane of water in this pool. So this doesn't just open portals to the outer planes, it opens to the inner planes as well, which makes this a very, very powerful magical chamber.
I'm
Laboratory.
never gonna be able to let
Yeah,
go
this
of
is some
colors.
big
So
clear magic
with
down here.
that,
This is-
if we burned
I'm gonna buy this place.
empty Sylphane stash, it would take us to the plane of shadows.
How about
Right.
that? It would.
Yeah. Probably only a little bit of it.
want to go? How much do we need to burn? I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean, I only got so
Might be a
much.
while before I can get some
I've
more,
seen
you
my
know?
guy.
Wait, I don't think we have to use all of that. Just use a little bit, it'll be fine.
Can you make a call? I know a guy. We're in Rockter. That's a college town, right? No, not that kind of guy. It's an engineering school.
He wasn't
I know
fucking
a really good
Adderall,
bar
though,
in,
that shit, but-
Yeah, okay.
Incredible.
About it says chest. That was exactly what I was going to say.
So as you examine the chest,
I'm gonna check out traps.
oh, of course, yeah. Would you like an investigation, perception? How you feeling?
Just perception for sure.
There you go.
Oh, hit and roll.
Well, you don't see any traps. It is, however, locked.
I hate that face.
with
I
a
hate
Magic is still in effect. Is there any
Don't ever make that face again. Okay.
any magical situation happening around this chest?
around the seams. And that tells you it's not
Aha,
airtight,
so
but around
perhaps
the
something
seams, there's
inside
something
of it.
inside it. It's probably magical. But you don't see any traps, but what you do see is a goat-headed padlock. A padlock in the shape of a curled, horned goat head.
Oh, that's no problem at all. It's got like an abyssal lock on it.
You have
I
a,
can pick that.
you have a feeling you can pick it.
Mercalo's gonna actually jump over to this side.
Okay.
The side that she has stepped over. Dusk is gonna fly across the pool to the north.
Okay. Yeah, a lot more chests to the north, money chests, and a lot thicker dust. It doesn't look to be disturbed over there. In fact,
Okay.
as Dusk's wings go across the water, you see it disturb the water. It's ordinary water. Although they must use some sort of alchemical agent because it is clear and it's been sitting underground for a while. But as Dusk flies over, it disturbs the water as you expect it to. It's not illusory. And as Dusk lands, the landing creates these little tiny dust clouds and little expansions or expulsions of dust where he would have landed. So Dusk made dust move.
So when the dust falls onto the water, does it just disappear? If the water's preternaturally clear?
I don't know. You want to get in the water?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I want to get in the water.
But it does look like the corridor or the chamber that Dusk has landed in is undisturbed and probably has been for some time. The chests there have a layer of dust on them.
Okay.
Interesting.
Empty, you're working at the lock for a little while there. Do you want to hit me with a tool proficiency check? It's basically your dexterity plus your proficiency modifier for the tools. And oftentimes, if you are trained in sleight of hand, it's the same number, so we use that as a default because it's easier in Fantasy Grounds. But we don't have to.
Why did they make this so that complicated? Okay, I mean, okay, so
I can just send you a sleight of hand. If you're, are
30
you trained in sleight of hand?
bonuses plus 5. Oh, I have to be, right? Let me make sure.
I'd be shocked if you were not.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. I've got a plus 8.
I mean, after that whole triple skill
So that
Expertise
should
in
be
it, maybe, right?
check,
yeah, and then, but does that include the tool proficiency?
Yes, because the
does.
tool proficiency lets you just add your proficiency bonus to it. So
But you can get
Stinking Fantasy Grounds, I'll never get used to.
you try for a full 5 minutes and it's just not going. You can try one more time.
Hell yeah.
can't. Hmm.
Can't what?
I was going to ask
Do
if
you
I
have
could
guidance?
assist,
Did
but
you
I don't
guidance
think
yourself
that
for an extra
works.
D4?
I'm
Cantrip?
I mean, if I know I'm struggling, I have 1 inspiration, and this is important.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
good luck.
So if you're talking, okay.
No, I'm.
Oh wait.
I think.
Wait. Bardic inspiration. Here we go.
Yeah. Empty turns around and says, "Well, I think the difficulty class of this chest might be like really high. So if there's anything you can do,
Mercala's checking out this doorway over here.
Okay. And
Plus, well, you still made it.
and
so.
it opens.
Okay.
And now I
Nice.
get to open the parcel called Demon Guarded Chest.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun,
Mirkala,
dun.
that is just a doorway. It's not a closed door, so you're able to see through it, and it looks like it links up with the corridors to the north and to the south. And it's just a pass-through to allow you access without having to cross the pool. You know, if maybe grandfather is, having a meeting with his lodge.
Yeah, something's going on down here.
Yeah, he's watching stag films from the other outer planes. What's this? Bitopia Babes Gone Wild? What is that about? Oh,
Oh, they have so many of
7 minutes in 7 heavens? What's this about? Okay.
Nice. Mirkal, it looks like you left a couple of items here in the party sheet. Oh no, the glaive you gave away. The glaive you gave. But that Akarai feather.
That's for Sandy to take.
Okay.
Unless she wrote it down. I caught it for her.
Oh, okay.
For Eldine.
Cool.
No, I think I missed that somewhere, so I'll grab it now.
So, opening up the chest, there's a top.
This is 100% a Pulp Fiction moment with the briefcase.
There's
And next episode,
there's a top tray, and when you open up the chest, that's what you see first. But there is
fishing lures.
Gleams. There's gleams coming from below the top tray, which, although felt lined, appears to be empty. There are 2 convenient empty grommets where you could grab it and pull the tray aside, or set it in the open top of the chest, and doing so reveals several scrolls, several flasks, a nautical device, and what looks to be a leather pouch, and 4 small vials in the corner. The vials I'll tell you right out because you recognize them. They are vials of antitoxin. So, handy. The nautical device, I'll tell you, is a sextant. So you may use this to chart your course by orienting with celestial objects and...
Is it magic?
Seeing the degree... No, it's just a
mundane.
A latitude determiner.
So you have that up. Yeah.
So you use that with an astrolabe, and you can make survival checks to prevent getting lost at sea at advantage if you have an astrolabe and a sextant.
Foreshadowing. It's Chekhov's sextant.
Not what I expected to be in here.
There are 3 scroll tubes, and 2 of them are radiating magic because the scrolls inside them are powerful enough to pulsate. One is conjuration magic.
Ooh.
And
my God, Flix is missing out.
Yeah.
Funny how that worked.
Picked the wrong time to go to the abyss.
Yeah, and one of them is conjuration magic, and the other is even stronger
conjuration
magic.
Get that one. Airplane. I'm sorry. And the other one of them was
moving on.
The hospital. What is it? It's a big building where they put all the sick people.
Doctor.
So 2 of strong conjuration and very strong conjuration. The other scroll is not radiating magic. The 2 potions, or the 2 flasks are, and 4 flasks. 3 of them are large-sized, deep red, shimmering red liquid that shimmers more when it's agitated. They look like concentrated, large-dose healing potions. The big ones.
How many of those were?
Nice.
Oh, all 4 of them.
3. I'm going to drop the whole parcel. I'm just going through because I don't want to reveal what's not identified yet.
Gotcha.
If any other flasks
go ahead and remove
Irish whiskey, then I would just pocket those real quick, and then. But I imagine they're not.
The other one is, instead of being like a large round, chug it little tiny flask of liquor style, like some Cointreau or something. Is what I picture the superior healing potions, like that size. This is a vial with a cork stopper, and there's a liquid in there that is liquid but seems to slosh around. It's not water. It's clear, and there's a sliver of something floating in it, about that long, knocking against the sides of it. You could swear that looks nasty. Like maybe it's a
I
toenail.
drink it. No,
Like,
no.
like maybe it's a toenail,
Oh.
I was thinking like a
and it's magical.
tapeworm.
So that's radiating
Oh.
some transmutation magic.
Magical pickled toenail.
Maybe it's a giant
It is, in
toenail. Maybe it's
fact,
a
I'm
potion.
giving you inspiration because it is exactly
Yeah.
a magical pickled toenail.
Okay.
Gross.
That's for mixing cocktails.
The
I'm imagining it's a giant's one. It's a potion of giant strength. That's my guess.
Oh.
Maybe so.
Had the same
Go ahead
thought.
and sorry,
I-
Tom.
I have a
delete
feeling
that
it's
delay
weirder
out
than
of
that,
the
because this is all.
the
Everyone talk at once.
yeah, for real. I know you're excited. It's like treasure. Remember the third flask is larger than the rest. Or the third scroll tube is larger than the rest and is not magical.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking map.
And there is a small leather pouch in the corner. Picking that up, it feels like there's maybe some. Maybe it's necklace. Feels like something large with a whole lot of chain attached to it.
Probably leave that bag
Yeah.
closed.
Magic or no?
Yeah. There's,
Eldine says that while MP's like,
Nope, nope, leave it in the
and
bag.
then
Leave it
Taylor
in the bag.
kind of
Alright,
peers
yeah,
over to her and
bye.
goes, "That one's magic."
I was just curious.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. So you've got a magical necklace, an unidentified magical potion, 3 superior healing potions,
Amazing.
a strong scroll of conjuration magic, a stronger scroll of conjuration magic,
Mhm.
antitoxin sextant, and non-magical large scroll.
I just MT just drinks an antitoxin to see if he feels better. I'm kidding.
Well,
what,
it's a long road
gosh,
back to
whose
sobriety,
chest is
but
this?
you've taken the first step.
Whose chest is this? Is this the warlock's chest, y'all think? Like her personal effects? This is the stuff that she had to implement this plan, or is this somebody else's?
Was the chest obviously recently like everything's covered in dust, right? Was the chest
This
also
chest is
covered-
not.
Not this one.
This has
And-
been used recently.
And
Okay, I
you
mean,
can't help
Pretty
but
sure the answer
notice
was obvious, but
the tray on the top of the chest looks like it could hold 3 of those coffers full of summoning or portal opening components. So she may have brought that with her, kept the
I see,
dirt
we got
as a
some-
way to close it, and had the elemental water as who knows what
Or backup.
backup. Yeah.
Or
No, you can always
something.
dump somebody into that.
When the demon
Drown
turns on her.
yeah.
Yeah, before goodbye, lover. Oh, one more question. How long can you hold your breath? And push him in.
yeah.
Yeah, sending somebody to the plane of water, that's
Brutal.
rough.
Brutal.
they're not
Yep.
gonna enjoy it for long. Plane of air, easy mode. You fall, you float, you fly. Plane of fire,
Whatever.
not so much. Plane of earth, again, how long can you hold your breath?
Yeah,
Yeah, none of the elemental planes are
Oh, I don't need to breathe, so
that nice for you.
planar traveler.
Tell you what, if you're
I'm
gonna
also
make
stuck in this position for
Yeah.
eternity, and I
there's
can't.
that.
Yeah,
move.
good point.
Okay.
Good
this
thing
is
I don't
a-
need to breathe.
This is a fantastic haul of stuff.
Yeah, it's
We
crazy.
need to do some identifying. We need
Wait,
to,
we live here now?
which we probably shouldn't do down here
There we
yet.
go. I dropped the actual
Mhm.
parcel on the party sheet, so I'm gonna go
Oh,
ahead
and
and
it does say map.
change
This is
Nice.
an enormously powerful. This is an enormously powerful like contraption to just have here.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This seems like some
No,
big boy heavy old magic, not something
I don't.
that
Yeah,
Muscleman
but
and
that
his
raises
rebel
another
black sheep
question.
sister just like this is not not this generation or the previous. If it's this family, it's older, or it's before this family was here and it's something bigger than what this family is
In the
into.
interest of determining that,
History check.
that the chest is, well, also like perception, even maybe like the chest is obviously like recently used. Is there a way that we can determine, like, has this shit been here for hundreds of years?
History
Was it
check
installed
for
recently?
Teller,
Yeah,
definitely.
I will do a history as well if I can. I'll come over. Can I jump across that, Tom? I mean, if send me a roll, I guess. But Makala's gonna
How
jump
far? How
across.
far are you jumping?
She's gonna run back so she has 10 feet, and then she's gonna jump to next to like there. Yes.
Okay.
The entire thing. Jump in the whole pool.
What's your strength?
20.
Yeah, you can. This is totally doable. This is
Nice.
not as hard as you think, actually.
Can't you? If you have like a running stance, you can go that many feet and then jump without a roll,
Yep.
more or less, or something. Oh, okay. Well then,
Yep.
all right. She just jumps across there.
You can because you have a 20 strength. Everybody else is dicing it out. No, it was awesome. So Mirkala, who doesn't even need to walk on the floors, jumps across. And this chest is the new... This is what sticks out, but this device has been here for a long time. Centuries, perhaps. And I'm going to send you a little bit of a history check for the family angle. I'm going to give it to everybody.
Awesome.
Let everybody try this one. Alright, cool. We got 14s, we got and garbage. So we got 14 to 15 and yes, awesome. So Teller and Mirkala, empty this, it's just you don't know this history.
Yeah.
Teller, you're like, oh, Lauren. He's from a family of wizards. The reason his family is rich is because they were wizards. But he's not. And his sister, on the other hand, made a pact, so maybe she's the last inheritor of this family's magical destiny. And you took her out. So you talk about buying this place, it does seem to be on the market, as it were. Mirkala, you got just a little bit higher on that roll, and as you jump across, you recognize that paper on the large scroll. That paper comes from one place, because it looks like it's got this faded pattern in it where the paper's pressed, and it's the shape of a rosemary plant, but it's not rosemary. It's just the branches that are on the trays that are rocked back and forth on the Wyvern Isle. This is paper from your homeland. Specifically,
This is one of the scrolls, or this is
the
map?
non-magical
the
one.
non-magical scroll. You recognize the paper itself.
That's actually what I wanted to check out, so I think I will
Grab it.
I'll grab it. Yeah.
You open it up, and it's a map of the Wyvern Isles. More than a map of the Wyvern Isles. It looks to be around the edge of the southwestern shore are several marks, triangles in the shape of a boat. This is an invasion map. This appears to be an outline of taking the Wyvern Isles with a mercenary force on land and sea, a coordinated attack. And as you examine it, your stomach reacts before your heart. Recognize the handwriting. It's Larntora Caius.
What?
The captain of your guard.
Has made an invasion map.
She was a fucking plant.
Hmm.
Now, part of me
Damn
thought
it.
if they take a while in this room, that might be a cool Cliffy. But no, you get to live with that one for a little bit. It's not the only handwriting on the map.
Yeah.
There's at least 2 other contributors to this map, in addition to whoever painted the actual map itself. But
We can't leave yet. We can't leave yet. If she's coming up, we can't. Oh no, I can't be allowed to stand. If they're
But
already on
because
their
of
way,
the make of the paper and the style of the map actually looks like it came from Bazor.
yeah. And remember, the
I-
Wyvern Isles are kind of a border islands between Caleria and Bazor, and almost all of the Wyvern Isles are under the auspices of your family, and the portion that isn't is technically part of Caleria as per an old treaty, like hundreds of years old. But this definitely looks like invasion plans to take out the Wyvern Isles.
yeah, we got to investigate that first. We can't head to the capital while that's just hanging there.
Yeah, no, this suddenly I feel like is the priority to mitigate. I mean, I don't know for the whole party, but Merkala absolutely's got to put this to bed before.
Oh,
And this
yeah.
is bigger than any shenanigans she's getting up to
Yeah.
with them whole
Uh,
Witch Queen.
Well, that's the only reason why I'd want to see the Witch Queen now is to see if she has anything to do with it. But
I'm also giving you inspiration, because as soon as you look at that flask, you're like, yeah, that's a cloud giant's toenail. And it's like that
Oh.
long, and you're like, that's the pinky toe. It's absolutely a potion of cloud giant strength. If you want to be as
It's
strong as a
Cloud
cloud,
giant.
but cloud
Holy
giant,
shit.
yeah, not hill.
Random Rainer knowledge, right? Pulled the Aragorn or something, like
A hobbit lie here and clipped off a toenail. Ugh.
Uh-huh. Wow, yeah.
With the broadsword.
This is Sting. It's given you a pedicure before. You know it.
It doesn't really have to. It doesn't really have to delay us too long, because shouldn't Lartona Caius be on her way here?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you drink this potion, your strength score changes to 27. For
No.
Holy shite!
Nice. Well, when you need to whoop her ass,
Yeah. So we may be on our way to the capital much quicker than we think.
True.
I
We can
mean,
figure out this gate. I'm sure we could get there double time.
I of course have
just
to
need
send a
some-
letter to my sister immediately.
If only we had a wizard. Oh yeah, no, definitely your sister. Yeah.
Well, you also have a way of, I mean, there are those that risk traveling the inner planes as a means of affording a faster travel across the prime material.
I mean,
Okay. I've just fielded an idea here, but I think I mean, the Shadowfell overlies this existence, and we could just go there, travel through that, and but I
And
mean,
the
it
veils-
might take some time, but
the veil between is certainly a bit weaker on Bazor with all the undead activity.
It's something to consider.
A variety of interesting options. I don't think we should charge into any of them.
No.
does anybody have like a brick from the capital? We could just grind it into dust and put it in the brazier. Like, no, but really, does anybody?
You'd want to study this and experiment small, safer things. But
Eldine's rummaging through her backpack just in case, see what we got.
yeah,
Might
I'm
be
actually
worth a hunt.
legitimately curious. Like, do we have something that is from
Do we have a letter from the queen?
We have a letter
Yeah.
from Ola Danica.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe we have one from
Seems
the
like a
queen
stretch.
herself. Yeah.
So we've got water from, or like earth. A letter? Not sure how
Remember
this magic
too,
works.
you seem to have sussed out that throwing dirt from the prime material plane into it will close it, will put it out. So it might have a limitation and not be able to actually teleport you
Teleport
within
on
the
this
plane,
plane, yeah.
but it'll open
Mhm.
up a stationary gate to
Yeah.
an inner or outer plane. Potent. It is definitely potent. And I
Yeah,
know,
no,
But I
I
don't
know
think
the
it's going to help us
danger.
get to the capital faster.
I know the danger of giving that to a party.
That is fun
This
for the
party.
future, but not for right now. We also
Yeah.
need to
Yeah, you're right.
crack one of these money cases, see if there's anything inside of it, just to check. Are these things magical or no? They're mundane.
The money chests,
Yeah.
they're mundane.
Yeah, let's pop one of these open.
Given what this
Empty
place
pockets,
is, they
help me out
didn't
with
need any
this.
additional security. They could just be like, "You there? I've called you up. I've used your
Yeah, I
47
think-
syllable name. Watch that chest. How long? Forever. Ha ha ha. Bye." Like,
It's fairly likely that Empty was already doing that. And
Yeah, right.
like-
Yeah, totally.
rushing over to say something really
Tell
quick.
her. And he's like, empty pockets, help me. Oh, I'll help you. I'll help you. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to need this.
all right. So,
I roll up the scroll and put it back in its case. It will be useful.
Hang on to that. You definitely hang on to that. I'm going to go ahead and take these other scrolls for safekeeping
Oh,
until
yeah.
we get them identified and until probably Flix will take them. I think it is, in my mind, it is just absolutely hilarious if Eldine gets the Potion of Cloud Giant Strength, but it's probably better served going to Mirkala.
anybody
too
benefit.
tough.
Like, I like to think
Yeah.
that everybody can benefit from a higher strength.
I think everybody
Yeah,
can
I
benefit,
agree.
but I think the
Not so much me.
RP narrative part of it, like I think it does make sense for it to go to Mirkala because she suddenly has a major issue to deal with.
Yeah, I think that goes to McDonald.
Yeah, by all please divvy up the goods.
I also snatched the sextant
Look at
because
this.
we don't know what's happening with it, so I'll just hang on to it for now. I'm taking one of those antitoxin vials, and I think the three of you guys should take those potions of superior healing because I already have one.
I also still have a superior healing potion. I mean,
Oh,
I'll take
okay.
another one, but I'm not opposed to taking another. But if someone doesn't, they should take it.
Empty pockets, Eldine. Do both of you have potions of superior healing or none?
No,
I
do not.
just pulled that one.
Yeah, you take one too, empty pockets, and Mirkala, you go ahead and get the other one
Okay.
Okay.
And
because you're
I
most
pulled,
likely to need it.
I also pulled a vial of antitoxin, so it looks like there's 2 left.
And I'll
So
pull
spread
one
those around. Seems good.
anti-venom.
And Tom, if you could just go ahead and get rid of that glaive, that's what Mirkala gave to
Oh, that's right. That's
Lauren.
right.
Lauren Tora, wasn't it?
No, I gave it
was-
to the head of the folks
Yeah.
in the Undertown after the ice explosion.
Oh,
Right.
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 Because if they encountered any demons while they were down there, they wouldn't have, or devils, they wouldn't have been able to hurt them. So
Totally.
So they had a +1.
glaive.
Yeah.
No, that was
Amazing.
that was solid. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
delete that. Well played.
And somebody still need to take an antitoxin.
I got an antitoxin, and I just
Okay,
took
then
another.
that's you, empty pockets. And take
That's a
that
good
potion
idea.
of healing.
It's a good idea. I legitimately do not know how to drag stuff
You-
out of here.
you
Oh
grab
no,
the-
I'm
Grab the little
Grab
coin.
the
little
coin.
gold coin.
And drag
Yep.
it to your inventory.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I
And
figured it
and
out.
that little gold coin looks different
Every
in
single
different
time.
themes.
And every single time I go, because it's different interfaces, it's a different click and it looks different. So seriously,
Yeah,
every
no,
time I'm pulling from the party sheet, it takes me 3 tries. I grab the whole
I know.
thing, which pulls the window.
I was looking at the
Something else,
wrong
and then I get
box
it.
at the beginning altogether, so it's
Asmo, about the map again. Just another question.
Yeah,
Now there's 2 people's handwriting I did not recognize.
Correct.
Would I be savvy enough to tell if either of those two were native Bazorans?
Actually, one of the other handwritings does look familiar. You know, in the style that you've seen the lettered houses tutors use. Your sister's is not that dissimilar. Hers is matter of fact with very little flourish, but she does have some embellishments on it befitting. You know, you don't write above your station, but she writes at her station. There's none of that going on there, but yeah, definitely somebody's somebody, maybe somebody you know, but you could probably guess the type of tutor they had.
Who would be doing this? Somebody who's trying to snatch power. Somebody who's made a deal is what it is with these Alderplanar forces. Probably for the governance of the Wyvern Isles or whatever. After they've fallen.
I have a cousin who sought my hand so that he could have the Wyvern Isles. I rebuffed his betrothal. I always will.
So how about in these crates when we pop this thing open?
What's that? Sorry.
Empty pockets and cellar. We're popping open a money crate. See what's actually in here.
Every one of the
if
chests,
there is money, and if so, what type of money?
Every one of the chests down here has 5,000 coins in it.
Oh my god!
What the?
I think we just became bona fide.
Eldine is 100% down to rob the councilman. Eldine is down to rob the councilman.
Oh yeah.
Woman,
Oh yeah.
Everything got sucked through to the abyss, right?
Yeah, he did ask you to. I mean, it's definitely a way to offshore some money.
Sandy thinks we should not rob the councilman, who was clearly in a bad way and told us what was going on with his sister and is trying to do right by everybody, and we are theoretically heroes. Eldine, rob the shit out of these rich folks.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Yeah, we should consider what we're going to do. But this is actual money. Is it Rockter money?
It is Calarian money.
Okay.
Are you searching every chest? Take some time. You've already been down here an hour.
Serious time.
We're popping a few, I bet.
Why do you need to get this money somewhere else?
A couple, and not next to each other, like in different areas. We'll do a little sample.
Little random search sample, see what we got.
They are locked,
especially if
Quick
the
search.
chests look different.
but the locks on the chest are not that sophisticated. It being down here is kind of security enough. You're able to open the locks, and they do have 5,000 coins in them each. The first two are silver coins with a top tray of gold. So you're looking at substantial 40,000-50,000 gold.
A lot of money.
Ord.
I mean, this is the family's wealth, a wealthy family's wealth that they don't trust banks. So rich
That
folks
wealthy
don't shove it in the
family
mattress.
is now just Oramal, though.
I mean, if there's
Right.
there are banks, but
Well,
the thing is what you've just defeated for security. The
That
four
trumps
of
a
you
bank.
could probably take out a bank. However,
Daddy keeps the gold in the basement because he doesn't trust banks.
the powers that be would come after you with a commensurate display of force that I don't think you would do.
Yeah. Is there somebody that we can trust?
You could rob a bank, but
It
don't.
looks like he's never been down here. Only his sister. He might not even know what's here.
it might be worth a conversation with him, like, hey, here's what's going on. We handled the demonic shenanigans down there.
And took a chest of gold. Don't worry,
Well-
you have like 5 more. No.
Maybe we could strike a deal, like, hey, looks like there's some savings down here. We could use a base of operations.
As the
Hey,
party talks,
hey,
MD
have
is pocketing as much of the gold as he possibly can.
Like so he's in the
All
background
right,
of the
so
scene, and then
Eldine
later
and
he's just
MD
like,
and Eldine are just like boop boop boop. So let's see if Merkala and Teller.
the two of
Who's
them are
our
walking
moral
out
compass?
jingle jangle cowboys. All right. Those aren't spurs you're hearing. That's our ill-gotten gains. All right, so what's the plan after this
I say fair gotten gains.
loot? I'm I'm not judging. I leave that to dice.
What's in this chest is ours, but the money we're gonna have to figure out in a little. Like it's even too big for us.
It's
to
more
just
money
clean
than
and
you
move.
can carry off.
Yeah,
we don't
this
have
is
to worry
what
about
we're,
encumbrance penalties. It's
We can fill our pockets if we want, but like
Right.
this is
right.
this
we,
is a
we have to be
different level of
extremely
money,
responsible.
and we have a little stack of money already.
the
like,
magic items you just found, even the consumable ones. Those are considerably valuable. Like,
yeah,
the value of that potion of Cloud Giant Strength is about
It's
one
incredible.
chest.
yeah.
That's
And
thousands
that
of
was
gold worth.
basically the deal we had, right? We're like, whatever's in there, he just wants it gone. He's sorry about his sister being crazy.
He may have
Right,
just
he's
been
not a-
referring to the latest chest she brought in, not
Right.
help yourself to my
I mean, he didn't get-
multi-generational
However,
wealth
That's what I
stockpile.
mean. That's what I mean.
I can't
That
help
was the
but
deal. Was
think-
that chest, not
Usually-
the whole family wealth.
Usually I'm not super into big government, but I can't help but think that some of this money would do a lot of good to the folks who lost their homes because of, the giant ice explosion that
And
Case
go a
made
long
chest.
way. Go a long
You
way
know.
towards alleviating the suspicion that everybody had about him. Like if he does like a mea culpa,
I think that's
I'm
the case
so
to make.
sorry
Yeah.
that my family. Like we will fund the that we should talk to him about that. That's
Okay.
certainly a good call. We also need to figure out what we're going to do about this Lawrence Oracaya situation. We need a long rest because we are brutalized. Everybody's up just about tapped out.
Yeah.
But I think first, and we need to identify the remainder of these things. First, we got to get out this basement, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So before we get out of the basement, what are we doing with all this money? We're just gonna leave it here?
Yeah, no, it's staying here. Your pockets are staying empty.
Yeah, Teller sees what shenanigans Eldine and Empty are getting into,
No,
and literally
no,
smacks our hands.
No.
Well, I mean, it's just, it's right there.
Later. That's for later.
You promise?
Are we afraid that somebody is gonna come back? Somebody else is gonna come
and
back
just gonna
here
take
and
it all.
disappear it?
We're not leaving this building. Like we're maintaining
Wait,
a
is
presence
one of the chests?
here.
One of the chests
Okay,
is surely
okay,
not too
good,
heavy
good,
for
okay.
me to carry, right?
One
I'm
chest,
very
yes.
strong.
You could pick up one chest. It's not a
Right,
case
that'll
of
help.
it's not a case of it being too heavy. You could definitely
Is it
move you're not
literally
moving
just
fast.
Teller saying, "Don't rob
Hey,
us"?
But we have to.
Green
We
eyed
have to get
monsters,
through.
We are
we ha-
leaving.
What do you mean?
We have to get
empty-handed
through the
right
terrible.
now.
Yes.
We have to get
Once
through the
we've
terrible.
secured the
yeah.
coins,
What you
and a different
haven't
location,
found is the means of deactivating the trapped corridor.
Well,
So feel free to move through there at
Yeah,
disadvantage with as many chests as you can carry. Drink the
yeah.
potion of Cloud
Interesting.
Giant Strength, tie them together.
that's
Maybe
it.
you can get
Interesting
30
point.
out of here.
Macaulay
I
goes
would-
to grab one of the money chests. It's like we're mercenaries after all, and then Teller has to talk her down and be like, "You still have to get through that trap."
can I do a little check to see if in these chambers that we're in right now, if
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
some sort of device or
Teller
something
had,
that we've
Teller had
missed
exactly
that
the
may
same thought.
disarm it? Yeah.
Deactivate. Yep.
I like that
I can get a-
plan. Let's
I
go
can get a
ahead
You
perception.
guys
and
work together.
Yeah, Teller's gonna help him.
put that map
They
back up.
as
There we go.
everybody starts yelling, Teller and Empty Pockets' eyes meet, and they just start like
Yeah.
looking around. How do we
Yep.
turn that fucking
Yep.
thing off? Yeah.
Yep.
So Empty, you hop over, look in the room with many chests. This one, look at that. I'll look at all those chests, right? And
Mhm.
note the corridor, hop over here. And as you hop back to your position by the chest that was full of magical goods, you look down and you're like, of course. So in the pool, near the bottom of the pool, on the easternmost wall, on this part of the pool, which I've drawn it,
Yep.
there appear to be 3 levers set in, and at first they were reminiscent of a filter you would find in a more modern swimming pool, but that's not what this is, and they don't go any deeper than the 3 pillars, but it looks like they're 3 levers that don't quite connect with the top of the recess that they're in, but they can't be activated from up here. You have to be in the pool. The cool thing is it's not currently a portal to the abyss.
Is the pool radiating?
That does help.
The pool is just radiating a baseline of conjuration magic more from the piping underneath it because the portal's not open.
Okay.
But it will hum with
Okay.
conjuration magic for a period of time after it's been activated, and that will slowly fade. And then the aura can be reignited literally by putting other planar valuable stuff into the braziers.
Perfect.
But yeah, somebody could swim down there and hold their breath and figure out the mechanism's 3 levers.
Oh, I see. It's a puzzle thing. Potentially.
So hold breath is Constitution. Figuring the shit out is probably intelligence, investigation, something.
It's investigation.
Um,
It's totally investigation on this one.
It's not. Yeah, this isn't necessarily my bag.
They look just far enough apart. You're realizing even if you stretched out your arms, you couldn't reach all 3 of these levers at the same time. So it might be a 2-person job, or
Okay,
it's a
so-
1-person job if you know the code.
Yeah.
Well,
Mercala, high Constitution.
I'm not super good at investigation, but not having to make checks for holding my
Who's
breath
good at
would be-
investigation?
And I have a swim speed as well, so
It's intelligence based, probably not any of us.
I have a +2 to investigation.
I have a +3.
Okay. Who's going down
I
there?
volunteer color.
I'll go down there.
Okay. So
and
Teller
Mercala.
and Mercala. Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Together again.
How deep is it? Like above our heads?
Yeah.
Over our heads?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
so it's 20 feet by 20 feet by 15 feet.
Teller walks out and goes to get in the water and forgets and just walks out across the water. It's like, oh, son of a bitch.
Click his
Pulls
heels and
ring
fall
off,
in.
Pulls this ring off, tucks it over to Aldine, and just drops into
Yep.
the pool.
He's like, I can't seem to. Oh yeah, hang on. Yeah. So you go down there and you hold on to the levers and you feel that they've got some give to them, and you realize they're multi-positional. They're all currently upright, but they can be pulled towards you, away from you, or upright. Those are the 3 positions for the 3 levers. I'm going to send that investigation check to you, see if you can figure it out. You know the traps are active now with the positions they're currently in,
Mm-hmm.
so that helps you reverse engineer what the solution might be. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and send this to you. We're not worrying about
3. Why are there 3? That's what's interesting.
Okay.
Maybe one is to drain this pool. I'm going to go ahead and burn this inspiration and take advantage on that.
Nice. Very nice. All right, hit us with that roll. So you push the center one forward and nothing happens. You return it to the original position. You try the one on the right and nothing happens. So you pull it towards you. You feel that you're activating something underneath, but maybe it's a simultaneous thing. You didn't quite get it. Maybe you need to coordinate with Mercala.
Mm-hmm.
They're far enough apart. You can hold 2 of them, but you can't reach the 3rd one. They're like specifically, about 4 feet apart, so you don't have the wingspan to grab the furthest one. But I'll let you try that again. You don't get inspiration for this part though, because you didn't roll well.
I did not.
Not well enough.
Oh. Can I take a bonus on this because Mercala is here assisting me, or no? I'm just trying to figure this out myself.
Or am I gonna get my own roll to help him out?
Get your own roll.
Okay. Get your own roll.
All right, Teller, you pull 2 of them and you feel that it almost engages. It's like when you're trying to shift, but you can't quite find 3rd gear.
We need all 3 of them to shift at the same time, then.
And that's, let's see, I'm gonna send Mercala thinking muscles, the muscles.
And I'm gonna use my inspiration to get advantage on this.
Awesome. Sweet. You got an 18 on the die. It'll catch up here in a second. what you both realize is you need to pull them out to prime the system to have a change. Stop in the middle and then don't push the middle one. Push the other two and return them to position, and it'll deactivate the traps. And it takes you a little bit of time, but Mirkala, you realize, let me prime the system, because even though you can pull two of them, there's some heft behind them, and when all three are pulled, you can feel it engage, and then you're able to do it. You come up huffing and puffing, and you're pretty sure.
Oh, I do.
Pretty sure you have disarmed the traps.
Oh yeah.
So feel free to loot the treasury. Maybe later. So you go. We're gonna put the map away. Thank you. Hope you guys like the map. Apparently, I'm gonna keep it because it might become the new HQ. Guess we'll have to detail out the up top.
I was gonna say, yeah, we'll need the upstairs as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you go upstairs, and Omlarin is not in the house. He's basically waiting outside in a coach. And when you go outside, there's a second coach that has pulled up, and you recognize it. It's not overt. It's not even as fancy as Riverport's mayoral coach. This is Rockter's mayoral coach. It's more utilitarian. It's well made, well constructed, fine materials, but not ostentatious. And standing outside of it, flanked by two halberdiers, is the mayor. And standing to the side of his coach is Omlarin, and appears they're having a conversation. Doesn't look like a hostile scene that you're coming across, but they do look at you as you arrive, and the mayor nods softly.
Mayor Sintro.
Well met, heroes. I'm to understand you're performing a good service here. Omlarin tells me there was some beasties in the basement.
Bit more than that, but we've taken care of it.
Old family secrets. A long-standing shame that we seek to remedy, he says. We have remedied it.
Mostly. There's a conversation to be had, my friend.
See? And the mayor says, I'll leave you to it then. I'll see you at tomorrow's council meeting. And her and her small entourage leave. Omlarin says, is it a particularly loathsome fiend? The ground shook.
It was real bad. It was real bad, yes, sir.
Grand Viper of the Pit.
Real bad.
Sadly, I have not the gift or talent or learning that others in my family have shown.
Maybe for the best. Look what occurred. Look what came of it from your sister.
I have. The city will take some time to rebuild.
And based on the wealth we saw in your basement, you may be able to assist some of that. Draw some of the poison, people's ire against your family.
Oh, the treasury.
Redeem them.
That's fantastic. That's good news. Good news.
Good thing Empty's not there. 'Cause he'd be like, "What did you-"
And all 48,470 gold are accounted for. Good, very
Yeah.
good.
He's like up on a rooftop, like,
Oh, and this itemized ledger of everything. Oh, thank you so much. Yes. Oh, and this sworn affidavit that.
For the moment, we'd like to avail you for your hospitality. It was a gruesome battle, and we could use some time to recover.
Please stay here. I've asked that the lay folk come in and provide healing. They should be here. Just a few more minutes, I would imagine. We feared the worst. They also perform funerary duties. When the ground shook, I sent for them.
Oh, that was just Mirkala's fat ass.
Yes.
Wow.
Plate mail dummy thick. I thought I heard it.
Yeah.
Rang
Franken.
like a church bell.
hey, JT.
Exactly. Exactly so. Word. Yeah, a meal is in order. A long rest. Tyler's got a couple of spell slots to burn, so he's going to go ahead. I was saving him just in case something happened, but he's going to burn them before our long rest to identify both of these potions.
Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, scrolls.
The clergy that show up are servants of the architect, a lawful neutral, if you will, deity of form and function, of planning, of logistics, of the scale, very strong Masonic order vibes. Their holy symbol is actually calipers. Their war picks are long-handled T-squares, essentially. So a lot of their trappings are also functional in engineering and architecture, and they can identify anything, is what I'm trying to tell you. So all of your gear is about to be identified, if you want
Okay, solid.
the big the big reveal.
Yeah, run it all down.
Yep. So the oh, you've already absconded with it. Who's got a magic item?
I've got them both.
Okay.
I've got both the scrolls. If there's anything else, it'll be in other people's stuff.
The necklace?
I've got that too. I just ran everything because I was like, Empty Pockets is going to take this shit anyway. I should grab it before we actually, so we can identify this crap.
So you have
Otherwise, it'll just be gone.
It's like before
That's not
Empty and
true.
Eldine pawn it.
We needed Sylphane right for the gate.
that option's still on the table.
Right.
The scrolls are a scroll of Dimension Door
Ooh, yes.
and Hero's Feast, which is on the cleric spell list and is exceedingly high level.
Such a good spell.
I don't think any of us can cast that.
Cleric. It's on the cleric spell
Awesome.
list.
I could do it.
Yeah, it is a level 6 spell.
Yeah.
Hero's Feast is one of the best buffs in the game for a whole party. It
crazy
is.
good.
We know we're
You
going
bring
into a boss
forth- I'm
fight.
just going to read it if you got. You bring forth a great feast, including magnificent food and drink. This is right up my alley. The feast takes 1 hour to consume and disappears at the end of that time, and the beneficial effects don't set in until this hour is over. Up to 12 creatures can partake. A creature that partakes of the feast gains several benefits. Cured of all diseases and poison, becomes immune to poison and being frightened, makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage.
Immune to
It's
poison.
Immune to being frightened. Its
That's wild.
Its hit point maximum also increases by 2d10, and it gains the same number of hit points.
It
These
sounds like
benefits
something.
last 24 hours. That is
Sounds like something we
insane.
want to do before venturing into another
Completely
plane.
insane.
Yeah,
Let's
Or-
like save that
exactly
for
right.
like when we're on like
Or
302
attempting
Malagar
to oust
Street.
a lich.
Yeah.
Or
Uh-huh.
a dragon.
A dragon. A certain
Dragon.
dragon we might have already run into. What about this? necklace?
Glory, shithead.
The necklace. The necklace is a delicate gold necklace adorned with red and yellow semi-precious stones, and it radiates strong transmutation magics.
Ooh.
Upon it being identified, you realize it is a necklace of adaptation. This requires attunement, but while wearing it, you can breathe normally in any environment and have advantage on saving throws made against harmful gases and vapors, such as cloud kill, stinking cloud, inhaled poisons, the breath weapons of some dragons, etc.
Holy crap, that's amazing.
And it seems like just the thing to have in this chest near this portal if you're going to do some extra planar stuff.
When you're traveling.
And it seems like the warlock was definitely into some extra planar stuff.
No doubt. Okay, awesome.
That girl was getting into all kind of stuff.
So
We'll
I'm gonna
figure out
drop
what to do with that.
the long rest on you, well earned as usual. I feel like I've made you earn every single night's rest in this whole campaign.
Empty Pockets. I put that
Yeah.
scroll of Hero's Feast back in the party sheet. You should grab it because it's a cleric
Yeah,
spell.
I'm already on it.
You are all fully healed, and I think it's time we do a quick breakdown. We're not ending with a cliffhanger tonight, but that's okay. Next session is episode 10. Hey, this Saturday night, come watch
We
us.
are ending on a turning point, though.
Come watch us play Pathfinder Second
Big
Edition.
turning point.
I'm playing Ursa Red Rocks, my barbarian. Really fun crew, fun cast. I'm looking forward to that. Papa Kev's going to be DMing. Shenanigans will ensue. It's a party that's played together for a long time, and I love that Ross's pistol is living on. So one of my dead characters is still got some oomph, some part of the narrative. That's really warming of the heart. I'm looking forward to our next session. It's going to be wild. A lot of stuff has just come in motion. We do seem to be at a turning point, like y'all said. But let's have a breakdown and talk about who's getting the coolest shit of the night award tonight. Now that the curve killer wizard isn't here, who earned that cool shit of the night? Everybody's going to start with inspiration next session, but who's starting with 2?
It was a much more roleplay heavy evening, investigation and all that.
Oh, wow.
I think I'm going Mirkala because of the map and the plan to invade the Wyvern Isles and her pretty fantastic immediate rundown of what that was, interpreting the handwritings to be able to see what was happening. That's my vote.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm seconding Mirkala just for identifying the potion of giant strength. Let's add some more onto the Mirkala pile.
That
Here.
was
Well,
good.
My vote is for
Well, I was
Markala.
gonna say
With
the same
that, along with, I mean, it just came down to dice, but Markala also getting the trap system. Markala kind of carried us a little bit today.
Yep. She ran the show this evening, so
Or
did the work anyway.
Yeah, did the work for sure.
I was gonna say Empty and Teller for doing the investigation work that I'm not as good at.
No, it was
bad, you
your
got it.
successful role.
You got voted
But that
down.
was-
Sorry, dude.
yeah.
But how else you never could have
I
pulled
should have
those
spoke
levers.
up sooner, I guess.
No, it's awesome. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Thanks to my awesome cast and crew, and thank you to Dungeon Draft for our map making. We didn't get to see them tonight, but thank you to Dungeon Alchemist. We did get to see them tonight. Awesome maps, and thank you to Smiteworks for this wonderful program. Thank you to Kobold Press for really truly scary monsters. You know, players get kind of used to what's in the monster manual. I like to mix it up, so I'm real glad about that. And thank you to Sirenscape. I dropped some thanks there. Thank you to Paul Messier for our theme song. Thank you to Kevin MacLeod for other music we've used, and thank you to Sirenscape for professional sound. Check them out. They've got wonderful you decide your level of involvement plans, and you can check them out for free. So go ahead and listen. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you Saturday night and again next week.